most of them very close scores. Just the ones you needed to go your way just didn't go.
Well, it didn't go. We didn't take them. It was, I mean, it wasn't hard for me to see how the match was going into it, that we had 7 weights that could go either way, and it wasn't coach speak. It was pretty accurate, and it's just so important, those first 3. And you know, I thought perhaps Morales was going to be the toughest one for us, but you know, we needed to take 2 of those 3 or 3 of those 3, and they were all capable. I mean, we really started putting some energy into it at the end. When it was too late at 25, we got to do that at the beginning, because that match is just too hard fought, and the person that puts the most consistent energy out is going to keep that 1-point win. And give them a lot of credit at 33. I think they did a great job there, where you know, we were probably, it was a match that could go either way, but was leaning our way, and he just caught us by surprise. That extra 2 and 2 changed everything. You know, and he was able to hold on for a win. So that was critical. I mean, that was a match that really, I mean, their 33-pounder, you know, if I was given a gold star, I would be to him. That hurt us. Morales is a competitor. Everything he does isn't necessarily anything we teach, but he gets himself ready to wrestle, and he's a competitor. And that, you know, when you start learning more wrestling, you start with that can take you a long way. He gets himself ready. 49 did a great job. That's their best wrestler, and Brutus is powerful, and he's learning how to do what he can do well on his feet. You know, we're a little vulnerable. Nauman's very good on top, so we had to spot him a point. But I thought he did a great job. You know, being a freshman going against perhaps their best wrestler, who's placed in nationals twice. 57's kind of snowballing away from us. It's just, you go from high school where you dominate everyone, and you know, I don't know how we'll cure that, but you know, he's not getting his best wrestling out there. And I told you before, it's kind of trying to pick when you're rubbing and when you're pushing him on the back, and you're going to have to try and figure it out, because there's some wrestling left, and he needs to learn as much as he can this year. 65 was ours to win. I would have liked to see some back points thrown there. They were thrown similar at the next weight class, but you know, the overtime there, he's got to keep his head. He's a little excited. The referee's on our side. That he's got to set a shot up or not take it. If it goes to the right out, we certainly have the advantage with our skills on top. So to see him take a shot that wasn't set up, that was a tremendous advantage to them to be able to score in that situation. We either need to take a great shot or not take one at all and take our chances in the ride out, because we have an advantage there. 74, they're skilled at what they do. They're not real skilled in a wide way with Headley, but he does what he does well, and Lance is learning. You know, that at the end there, that's the only place where I was disappointed with him, was at the end, where he's got a really nice setup, takedown, finished it, let him go to see if he couldn't really learn something and leave something kind of in their head and get a few, and he got too excited and just kind of put himself underneath them, where that made it too easy to let him score and put that match away. And Matt Ryan had to work hard, and that's good for him. He needs to work hard right now. That kid, you know, had the momentum of the match and was raising up, trying to take a good win. Heavyweight, I was really proud of that. He called the trainer at 5 a.m. this morning. He was in the ER with IVs in him, but he has some sort of flu where it was coming out both ends, and he was dehydrated enough. They had him on an IV, and then he went home and still couldn't keep anything down, and his dad got some gland things in him, and then he slept, woke up, and it came right back out on him. So I was planning on only wrestling him if the match was on the line, and it wasn't. And I tried to convince him, and he was pretty forceful about, you know, it was senior night and he wanted to wrestle, and I said, then you got to win. Doesn't matter how you feel, you got to do it. I said, my feeling is let's not do it. And he said, no, I want to do it. It was against my better judgment, but those kind of things are good for you. I mean, he couldn't have felt worse. I mean, they got weigh-ins done, and he got out of the locker room because it's very contagious. And he laid down in the wrestling room. We had to wake him up to come over here, and that was a great effort. You know, too bad we weren't wrestling for the win, and he'd really feel good about it. But you know, my assessment was correct. I mean, there were matches that were even up. We had a crowd that wanted to cheer for us. We just need to put, you know, we had to work harder to try and take those early. And Todd and you and I talk about a lot that, you know, you have different pressures on you at heavyweight. You got to sometimes 97 heavy win it for the team, and those first three, you set a lot of momentum, and you know, we can't complain too much because those guys have come through consistently for us. But this time, their guys got ahead of us and did a nice job, and that was the difference in the match.